to the Late Lit Show. Tonight we have several special guests for you. They are all new authors and poets from the early 1800s, a period which would later be deemed as the American Renaissance. But many still know it as Romanticism. Each mystery author will read an excerpt from one of their famous works. Based on our explanations of Romanticism and the excerpt read, it is your job as an audience to write down whether the author is a Gothic, early Romantic, or fireside poet. Let's meet mystery author number 1.
Poor Rip was at last reduced almost to despair, and his only alternative to escape from the labor of the farm and clamor of his wife was to take gun in hand and stroll away into the woods. Here he would sometimes seat himself at the foot of a tree and share the contents of his wallet with a wolf, with whom he sympathized as a fellow sufferer in persecution.
Where is she?
Let's ask mystery author number 2.
No answer still. I thrust a torch through the remaining aperture and let it fall within. There came in forth in return only a jingling of bells. My heart grew sick. It was the dampness of the catacombs that made it so. I hastened to make an end of my labor. I forced the last stone into its position. I plastered it up. Against the new masonry, I re-erected the old rampart of bones.
I'm sure I'll plaster it up too if my 13-year-old cousin died. On to the next author.
Vainly the fowler's eye might mark thy distant flight to do thee wrong, as darkly painted on the crimson sky, thy figure floats along. Seekest thou the plashy brink of weedy lake or marge of river wide, or where the rocking billows rise and sink on the chafed ocean's side? There is a power whose care teaches thy way along that pathless coast, the desert and the illimitable air.
Even though you weren't one of the oldest, you were still one of the firsts. Next author, number 4.
Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow find us better than today. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still, like muffled drums, are beating funeral marches to the grave.
And that beer is absolutely on fire. Author number 5.
Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without words and never stops at all.
Ironically enough, she speaks of feathers but lives in a cage. But does this next author?
She came, not as a guest, but as a rightful inmate, into the household that was darkened by trouble. As if its gloomy twilights were a medium in which she was entitled to hold intercourse with her fellow creatures. There glimmered the embroidered letter with comfort in its unearthly rays. Elsewhere, the token of sin that was the taper of the sick chamber.
The token of sin that lived in his neighborhood, and possibly his bedsheets. On to the next author.
It appeared from the embellished statement of David that his own presence had been rather endured than desired, though even Magua had not been entirely exempt from that veneration with which the Indians regard those whom this great spirit had visited in their intellects.
Thank you to all our guests. Now for the great reveal. Who is who?